L Pezy,
Yo, what's up, baby? How you doing?
I'm doing.
Yeah.
We got the second season of the L Pezy show. Go ahead and do your thing, baby. Introduce yourself. Tell the people.
Well, I am L Pezy, aka Billionaire Bruce Wayne. I am the founder of B Entertainology, one of the inventors of the portable cloud. Um, and today, on the L Pezy show, we're going to be talking about my EPK, my new device for artists to sell their music off of, AI, where it's going. I mean, I predicted it. Um, and all of the goodies that go along with that. What's up with you, Mr. Snow?
Man, ain't gonna kill nothing. Ain't gonna let nothing die, man.
I hear that. What you think about this new AI revolution?
I love it. That's how I do my clips.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
with it.
know. I don't know
I'm
how
with
to
it.
feel about it. I kind of feel like it gives an unfair advantage to people that don't necessarily want to do the work. You know what I mean? Like I sent out a lot of uh, plans and stuff like that. And then I noticed these guys sending me plans back, and then they're doing theirs with AI, and I'm still constructing mine from scratch. You know, and on one hand, it's kind of an unfair advantage, you know, because when you take the time to learn these things and you develop your craft, you know, then you want points and accolades for that, or accolades. You know what I'm saying? But on another
Nobody,
hand,
no, nobody cooks from scratch no more. LP. You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
look,
No, I don't.
that's
Hey, I
that's
wish
what
I
that's
would.
what
I
I'm
wish I
saying.
would make a clip from scratch.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like it's on one hand, it's us creators that create things from scratch, and so we go through the process. And I was looking at one of the AI clips, and the guy was bragging about how he doesn't have to follow the rules anymore. You know, and then thus I'm able to see it working in my life, and the lives of people around me. You know, and so my mom, she done found, her AI stroke, and it's helping her create obituaries and all these different things that she would like to get paid for. But with AI, the family can initially do what it is that she's doing. You see what I'm saying? So there's no need to pay her for that, you know? And so the AI revolution is costing a lot of people jobs, but at the same time is supplying us with the tools that we need to be creative and productive. Um, because it's really major in the workflow flow area. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
AI. I mean to cut you off.
no,
AI
you
is a
good.
gift. AI is a gift and a curse. Right, just like social media, it's a gift and a curse.
Yes,
On one hand, it takes it cuts into a profession, a certain profession. You know what I'm saying? Because you can cut out the middleman. And on the other hand, in my case, it's great because I can just hit the button and create about 30 clips in 30 seconds and be done.
right. And then, which brings me to my next point, because, I have a strange business partner, right? And so he was talking to me as if, I would need him in order to become successful. But with AI, I don't necessarily need him. You see what I'm saying? Because the AI could assist me in all of what I need to get done. So work tasks, flows, putting out business plans, putting out profit and loss, sheets and stuff like that, and then using it, to contact people that I wouldn't necessarily be able to get in contact with. So that's how it's been able to benefit me, but to the point of well, I actually doesn't need a business partner or an assistant, unless you're just talking about the human element. And that's the thing about having a human business partner. We interact in such a way that we're bouncing ideas off of each other, versus me putting in, prompts and allowing it to create itself.
Well, it's just me creating on this platform. I don't got no team, so it's a beneficial for me. It's like
Right,
AI
right.
is
I mean,
AI is my media team.
that's
You
what
get
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying? Like,
You don't
I don't
have
saying
to have
I
many.
don't need no media team because I got AI.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And so that's where the gift and the curse comes in at. Because if you had an actual team full of humans around you, the creativity and the energy that flows is off creating things together, you know what I'm saying, will propel y'all into, a different stratosphere. And then not having a team and able to use AI, you know what I'm saying? Then now it's you, the AI, and the verbs that you put in, because that's a hack too. For all y'all that don't know, that Chat GPT and all the AI services, like the prompts, the way that you work the prompts are through adjectives. You know what I'm saying? And then you can actually have it to where it's thinking like a 30-year professor. You can be like, you're a 30-year professor, Harvard. Um, I need a business plan for this. This is the business model. You know what I'm saying? And it will create from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? Which is really dope. Like right now, while AI is really new and everybody's taking to it and learning different things from it and, doing, creating different things, you know, is wonderful. I mean, because it's computer learning. So it's learning from us and it's regenerative learning, meaning as it learns from us and we're giving it the information, even the imageries. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to remember, we had artists that created the images, and then the images themselves had copyright laws and everything else to go along with those. So you couldn't even use those images. But now that we have AI is generating those images. You know what I'm saying? So it gets us around all of the copyright laws and everything from there. Like AI generative on Facebook, whenever I have one of those days or something where I'm feeling super creative, and then I want to put out a post, and then the post says the most valuable things in life aren't free. You know what I'm saying? And then I can use AI to put those words into a visual that my fan base can understand it or appreciate.
All right, let me holler at the chat right quick. Hey, Miss Sherry Allen. Hey, Miss Tia Harris. What's going on, little mom? How you doing, Alicia Russell? Um, in case y'all checked in late, tell them what the topic is, LPZ.
Well, today on today's show, we're talking about AI, the movement of AI. What is it doing to us and for us? And then we're talking about my innovations company, um, because it's an innovations company, and the world needs to know about what it is that we do or what we're involved in. And AI is it just happens to be the lead technology that's going, and then the EPK is the secondary technology. So
Hey, LPZ, send me a picture of the media clip. Text it to me. You got the other phone?
yeah,
Just send it. What you gonna send it to Messenger or whatever? Send it to me though. You send it, text it to me so I can upload it. And show them what you're talking. When you get to that topic, I can show 'em what you're talking about.
okay,
But keep going on. Let's go in on the AI.
yeah. I mean, AI is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you allow it to be, it's a gift and a curse, like you say. You know, I think about the fact that they're using it to create music now. you know. And once they start using it to create music, then there's basically no need for artists anymore, right?
I guess so.
I mean, if the AI can make the music, make the music for you, because I seen these white boys, and they were using AI to create songs, and the songs were actually pretty good, but at the same time, is taking the artistry out of it. And so, like, if you could go to AI and say, "Hey, I'm Lil Wayne, uh, Carter Five," you know what I'm saying, and I want to make a song about Flint, Michigan, you know what I'm saying, and then the next thing you know, boom, you got a song that sounds like Lil Wayne, and you can use his voice cadence, you know what I'm saying, for any voice, you know what I'm saying. So now you got a voice. Now you got the cadence of Lil Wayne. Now you want the voice, you know what I'm saying. So you can go through all these different voices and pick a voice, and then let's say the voice sounds like Scarface. So then you got Lil Wayne with Scarface voice, you know what I'm saying, on a song that isn't owned or controlled by anybody. So that
So
zero,
so so it take the copyrights away?
yes, yeah, you can't
Get
copyright.
the fuck out of here.
You can't copyright shit that AI create. All of that shit got a watermark. You can't
Wow.
monetize it at all. And there may be some loopholes that exist, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not aware of them. And then, like think about this. If we really wanted to create a super dope AI tool, and remember I said this first, it would be dope. Like if you have a song or a record, right? And then you're able to put that song into an AI program that creates a music video specifically for that song. And see, I've been noticing that that does not exist. Am I right or wrong? So, with that being said, that's one of the things that being a technology is working on. I mean, an aspect of AI. So, I mean, Timberland got his thing, you know what I'm saying, to where he's able to have artists, drop songs, switch them up, do the beats. Um, they're switching the pitch, they switch your voice, you know what I'm saying? Like they can have you sounding like Christina Aguilera. You know what I mean? So it's so many things that you can do with it, and there's so many loopholes. And as far as like the artist content and creating it, and
Hey, L
the
Pezy,
the
can
music,
you imagine, listen, can you imagine this man with an AI voice?
yes, and that way he still lives on. The only thing you have to do is keep his ideology. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you want to turn him into the guru or have him, sending some type of message. You know what I mean? But you can have that and his likeness. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. But then that's somebody else's likeness, though. You see what I'm saying? So if any monetary
Right.
value comes about, you know what I mean, then his family or some whoever in charge of his estate or whatever, you know what I'm saying, may, want to pursue that as far as, compensation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This is all new to not only me, but to the world, So as it advances and moves forward, then we'll see how it how it pans out. But ultimately, you know what I'm saying, that picture of him like that, and whatever message is that you need him to give to the city of Flint, you know what I'm saying, or the world, because that is a powerful picture.
Absolutely, man. You remember the good times we was having, Unc, man?
Man, Yes, I do. I remember walking across his grass and him telling me to get my ass off his grass. Your ass out my yard. Your ass out my yard. Yeah, for real. I mean, man, look, growing up in Flint, man, was a real thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, Baker Street, Rankin Street, King School. You know what I'm saying? Northwestern, Russell Street, Martin Luther King, DuPont. You know, the South Side, the East Side. You know, I could, I got memories for days. You know, of of growing up there. You know what I'm saying? And then, from coming from the north side of Flint and all of what I had to go through to get to where I'm at now, it's a real achievement, you know? And I'm like, man, nobody told me that, I could grow up and become an inventor or be the founder of an innovations company or have this music career. And, up until this morning, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna get back involved in this social media thing, and then, I get a call from you, like, hey, send me the track, send me the single. I'm like, yeah, I forgot about that. That's God bringing everything full circle.
Absolutely, and we pushing it too.
Hmm.
It'll be on DistroKid tomorrow.
That's what I was telling you though. I was like, man, now this is the part where I actually need a manager. This is where all of the content and everything and all of my sacrifices, my blood, sweat, and tears, and you know, this is where everything comes together for me. When they ask who am I, you know what I'm saying? In perspective to the music industry, then we can go back, good 30 years. It's 2025. I started rapping in
At
95.
least 30 years.
You see what I'm saying?
I've been
So,
DJing when you walked in that room and seen me with that DJ equipment. They used for how old you was about 12?
man, dude, look, I couldn't even tell you because I remember looking up at you. I think I was younger than 12. I had to be like 8 or 9. Yeah, for real. We don't grew up with hip hop. This is, this is our culture. This is where we come from. You know what I'm saying? That was a real inspiring moment. You know what I'm saying? Watching you in there with the DJ equipment and scratching and doing all the stuff that you was doing, you know? And then not only that, but to walk into the room and you got the DJ equipment and then to go down the street over Gardell House, you know what I'm saying? And you got Steve Pitts, with the studio in the basement.
Hey, LP, tell the people who was our mentor when we grew up. You just said his name.
Oh, you talk about Steve Pitts?
No, Gardell. No,
Gardell?
they know. Yeah, they know Gardell from the Maze Center. He the DJ. He be having them old ladies stepping and stuff. Tell her that's who taught us. Gardell.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Gardell is definitely one of the pillars of Flint. What's the other dude name? His name was Terry something.
Where did you stayed on Parkfront?
Bernard Terry.
BT. Yeah, yeah.
Bernard Terry. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I knew that name. It was coming to me for some reason.
What's up, T for the D?
You said what?
No, I'm speaking to the chat. What's up, T from the D? Miss Sherry Allen said AI is not a real person or voice, so there's no one you can sue for using your brand because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, we already addressed that.
Yeah, you said that it can't be monetized.
Nah, you can't be monetized. You can't sue anybody over it because it's not a person or a place or a thing. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the loophole. You can create all that you want to create off of it. You know what I'm saying? I would say not a loophole for us, but definitely a pitfall for some because you can create all you want to create with it. But as long as it's AI driven, you know, you can't take personal credit for it. And then you got to remember this, that that AI can write your exam for you, your, you know, a rap for you, a movie for you, a book for you. But if you didn't write it, then you don't know what it said. Even if you go back and read it a dozen times, it didn't come from you. You know what I'm saying? So you can't offer that information to the world because you didn't come up with that information. I did. You see
Man,
what I'm saying?
I seen an AI clip today, man, that they had a python snake snake fighting a German Shepherd. I was like, oh man, AI undefeated, man.
Yo, no, the ones that I love are the AI, like the fusions. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be like this guy walking with a tiger, and then he and the tiger fuse together. You know what I'm saying? And he becomes the tiger. Have you seen that? The AI fusions? Yeah. Well, you got to check that out on straight up.
All right.
That's dope. You know what I'm saying? But it has all of those different things. You know what I'm saying? The different elements of like it. They did like a Ninja Turtle one. You know what I'm saying? So so it's a ninja and there's a turtle, and then they mix the ninja and the turtle together. Look, all I'm saying is like that AI fusion just took uh like Street Fighter games and the characters to a whole nother level. Like, yes, being creative with AI is one thing, but the repercussions of it is that people are going to become dumber and dumber. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to take less brain work. And then, you know, using adjectives, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of sound like a smartphone, don't it? Smartphone make you dumb.
Yep, because you ain't remembering any of the phone numbers like you used to.
Man, I went to the county, man. Only phone I can remember I know was my mama's.
Ah, yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that sucks. Hmm. Yeah, that definitely sucks. But yeah, it's gonna fuck around and create a dummy thing, a dummy
All
chain.
right. So what's up with the media card, man? I just put it up on the screen.
Okay, well, that is the new way of selling music in the world. We're taking the music industry to a global platform. So because we're taking it to a global platform, we you know, streaming is the way and was the way. You know what I'm saying? But now we want to reintroduce physical copies to artists so that you know, ASCAP, BMI, CD Baby, um, all the
This your kid.
copyright and
This
publishing
your
out.
kid, Spotify.
Yeah, the point I'm making is all of the copyrights and the publishing companies are losing out right now because nobody's copyrighting their music. So nobody's publishing their music. You see what I'm saying? If there are no artists and nobody's creating music and nobody's publishing anything anymore, you know what I'm saying? Then those places become, you know, I guess obsolete. You see, CD Baby had to go and drop their whole their whole their whole name because now CDs are irrelevant. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, um, being in technology, the overall dream that I have for being in technology is that, you know, we go from being a historical record label, and so we we're initially manufacturing all of the music. So all of the music that exists, right? Meaning this could be a R. Kelly record. It has his whole, you know, pictures, videos, album, bio, links to his website. You know what I'm saying? Then when you buy one of these, you go to the B Entertainology website, and the B Entertainology website is going to register your EPK. Once your EPK is registered, if you destroy it or have any type of issues with it for the next 2 years, we will replace it for free because it comes with a 2-year warranty. Now, when the last time you bought a record that had a 2-year warranty? Oh, wait.
Never.
Never, right? When the last time you bought an album that played videos and had the bio and everything in it, embedded in it?
It never existed.
Nope. And then you remember back in the day when we used to get CDs and they'll have the CD cover, then it'll open up, and then you got the music, you got the track list, you got everybody that was involved in the creation of the product. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Your executive producers, your engineers, all of those credits, all of those credits are not there anymore because all we're seeing is the song and the string. That's it. So whoever produced the track, the musical creators, you know what I'm saying, where the track was actually recorded at and all of that different stuff, all that stuff goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? And so we want to bring all of that back, you know what I'm saying, as a part of you selling the album. You see what I'm saying? So as an artist, right? And you have a project, and now the project comes on this card right here. You see what I'm saying? This is big enough to fit in your wallet, transport in your pocket, you know, and it works on all USBs. Anything that has a USB 2.0 is going to play it. Then, like I said, it's an internet press kit or electronic press kit. That's what I meant. Electronic press kit. So all of you industry heads know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's one of those things to where uh, at a time as an artist, you would send an electronic press kit. And before they became electronic press kits, you would actually have to send a press kit. And that will have all of the magazines that you were in, all of the buzz that you done build, all of your paperwork, all of your pictures, you know, all of the bios and everything that's been written up about you. Um, and then it will be presented in a presentation in a package like this, and you would present this to the label. And then on the inside of that, then it would have your CD and stuff like that. But they would read the press kit before they played your music because then they felt like they knew you. You see what I'm saying? And so we're bringing that back to the market. Not only are we a music manufacturing company, we're an innovations company. We're a financial banking institution. You remember how Russell Simmons did the Rush card? Well,
Hey,
that
y'all, excuse me, please. Y'all violate that like button, please. Donate to the platform. Send me a super chat or something. $ Split After Dark 810. Violate that like button. Thank you, please. Go ahead, please.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. So um, in terms of 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 being a financial institution, I took a play out of Russell Simmons' playbook. You know what he did with the Rush card. So I'm going to pay my employees off the same little, you know, Visa card platform, and then we have our own banking system. You know what I'm saying? So our financial department is going to consist of these Visa cards. then each one of the employees and or artists, you know, gets one. And then when I have to pay them, it's just electronically dispersed. You know what I'm saying? So there's no more waiting to cash your checks. There's no more waiting to get the money. And then if you need a loan, because we're a label that does advances, and I'm going to be able to give my artists, you know, I'm not going to say as much as they need, but you know what I'm saying? Whatever the advance amount is, you know what I'm saying? That's considered a loan. So that also counts towards the whole banking experience. You know what I'm saying? Or the
Yeah.
lending experience. And then this way, you don't have to have any credit. You see what I'm saying? As long as you work for B Entertainology and you need a loan or you need, a hardship, you're going through a hardship, then you can turn and ask the company, you know what I'm saying, for that money. And then we draw up that money and then give it to you, you know what I'm saying, with, uh, uh, an interest-based loan. You see what I'm saying? Which makes us a
Yeah.
banking institution. Once we
Right.
become a bank, you see what I'm saying? Then we are a part of the banking system and the banking laws, right?
Right.
So
Right.
then, as an entertainment company, you hire entertainment attorneys. So we're going to get these entertainment attorneys that is going to turn us on to our criminal defense attorneys, which is going to turn us on to our real estate attorneys. Because as a bank, you know what I'm saying, we're buying the artists' houses and cars and everything else. But the difference between the way that we're going to do things and the way that things have been done is that we're going to turn the property over to the artist. You see what I'm saying? And put it in his name. You see what I'm saying? But it's still going to be owned by us, just like the banks. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to keep the property in the family. Then it's going to keep, regardless of if he's a part of the label or not. You know what I'm saying? He's paying the loan back, and a lot 9 times out of 10, if we're talking about a home, it's like a 30-year mortgage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as we're moving on these different properties and stuff like that, then we have corporate money to buy these properties. You see what I'm saying? So we're getting the properties and then we're giving them to our artists, you know what I'm saying? And basically and working like a VA home loan would work. If anybody's familiar with the VA home loan, it would be zero down, and then you just pay what it is as you go. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't be any like money that they would have to put up front, is what I'm saying. You get
Right.
signed to the label, you work for the label in any capacity. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you're in the the what is that called? The mail room. The mail room. You know what I'm saying? My job and what I stand for and what I'm trying to do is because I am an artist. You know what I'm saying? I've been out here, I've been fucking with these labels and looking over these bad deals and been an artist for a long time now. So I know what it is that the artists need to become successful. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is to be a struggling artist. I know what it is to sign a bad deal. I know what the music industry is trying to do to us. And like Fubu, for you by you, um, I believe in cultivating our genre of music because it was supposed to have been a fad. Nobody knew it was going to be $1 billion baby. Now that all this money involved, now they want to sharecrop us. You know what I'm saying? Turn us from slave to sharecroppers. You know what I'm saying? And then they want to employ all of the upper echelon, you know what I'm saying, to convince us little guys to sell our catalogs off. Artists, if you sell your catalog is sold, no matter how much money it's worth later on down the line. Because you got to remember, there was a such thing as going gold, platinum, then they introduced diamond. And once we got to diamond, you know what I'm saying? Then Uh, now you're talking about millions of sales in your first week. So on a global platform, it's 3.64 billion people in the world with internet access. You see what I'm saying? And then we got all these translators and everything else. And if you are an artist, and see, that's the thing. A lot of you guys ain't never left your neighborhood, ain't never left the city, ain't never left your region, let alone left the country. So when you become washed up old rapper here in America, you can actually go and tour the world. And when you show up there, it's like it's a whole new thing for them. Method Man in Thailand. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So you know that's where we're going with the overall vision, because my bag is in the cloud infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? I have a bag, bigger than the music industry itself. You know what I'm saying? So my job is just to make the playing field even for all of us and evenly distribute the money. You know what I'm saying? Amongst us, because we're the creators, white, black, pink, other. It doesn't matter. If you make music, if you make content, if you create movies, you know what I'm saying? Think about this. Your diehard movie fan can now go back to the red box, you know what I'm saying, and get the whole movie with the credits, the DJ, the director's cut, and everything else that goes along with your movies. You know what I'm saying, that you're not getting from streaming. And then this what I have done and stumbled across just so happens to be aligned with Netflix and everything that you know that they did to start their company. The reason Netflix is what it is because they started with physical copies. I'm like, at $40 a pop, 15,000 copies is like 600,000. Come on now, who's walking away from that? You get 600,000 streams and get $1,500. Can't live off that.
Hey, Miss T. Harris say, never seen a record in the form of a credit card either. This is genius.
Yes, it is. And like I said, you can put it in your wallet. You can fit it in your wallet, and then the amount of content that it holds on you. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I said, you got your videos, you got your music. You know what I'm saying? You got your bio. You see what I'm saying? Then you got the links to the merchandise where you go to the website. You can get everything in one shot. You know what I'm saying, with my EPK card. You know what I mean? So it's
Uh,
definitely next level genius.
Miss Sherry Allen say, records and CDs no longer exist. Even in new cars, it's Bluetooth.
Well,
Absolutely.
see, the thing about that is that you have like albums. Like I work for a company called Hand Drawn. Hand Drawn still presses records. You know what I'm saying? And then they're able to sell those records for $32 a piece. You see what I'm saying? So even if it's a niche market, you see what I'm saying? Then you're still able to exploit that market to make your money. So, I mean, and then you got to remember, CDs, they weren't used for music and film until the developers of Netflix came around. When they came around with it, they wanted to put the movies on a DVD because it would be cheaper to send. You know what I'm saying? Because of the shipping price. So that's how we was able to do that. Because these are like, you get more out of these. Like, you get 1,500 of these and you can put it in a size 12 shoebox versus it filling up your trunk.
Yeah, they not bulky at all. They're more
No,
compact. You
no.
can put it in your wallet. Who would have thought that? You can put an album in your wallet.
Yes. You can put a whole album in your wallet. You can put a whole, the movies and everything. You know, because not only am I doing this for the music business, I'm also doing this for the film business. You see what I'm saying? Because film needs physical copies as well. And so this is the idea that I'm presenting to Netflix. You see what I'm saying? So Netflix has to go back to doing physical copies because right now they've risen and now they're falling. And now they're having that same problem because they have developed a market that pays a fraction of a penny.
What the
So
fuck is a fraction of a penny?
so you know how okay, so 0.0004. See, that's the thing. We don't know nothing about what goes on the right side of the decimal. You see what I'm saying? Because we're not counting fractions of a penny. But if you look at your streaming service and you look at how much they're charging per stream, it's 0.0004% of a penny. How many pennies? You know what I'm saying? You know, now you're looking at 4 cents. How many times you have to multiply 4 to get 1 cent? You see what I'm saying?
So how many fractions does it take to get to a penny?
Well, um,
Elaborate. Break it down for us.
I, I'm not really good at math, but I'll give it a shot. So, hold on. I'll give you the rundown. Okay. So, if you was to sell 1,500 B Entertainology EPK cards, right? At $25 to $40 a pop. At $25 dollars a card, at 1,500, you'll make 375,000. Okay. At $40 a pop, you'll make 600,000. Right. The streaming equivalent is 4% of a penny, which is 0.000 per stream. Right. Three for 375,000, you would have to get 937
Yo,
million
what's up, big
five
aunt?
hundred streams.
Big aunt.
Oh,
All right, what's up, cousin?
Who was that?
that's your little cuz.
What's up,
Oh, what's going on? Oh, I
bro?
couldn't hear
He
nobody.
said
Somebody.
he trying to learn from you. He trying to learn from his big cousin. He said break the math down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, 600,000 streams, right? Um, to get 600,000 streams, then you would need 1,500,000,000 streams in order to create that. And the streams needed would be 937.5 million to 1.5 billion streams to match the earnings from selling 1,500 EPKs. So that's what it is with that, because the additional earnings would be like 15,000 cards would be 375,000 to 600,000, equivalent
That's a
of
question.
Break it down. So,
Oh,
900.5
yeah, that's
million
the time.
to
I'm about hard at.
1.5 billion
yeah.
streams.
You have milk on like right? Mute it.
Yeah, I know. Oh shit. Oh my bad. We talking. So all right. Hey, that was. I just wanted to break it down. Let me look at the chat. See if we got any. No work. Mark say totally agree. You must have paper before going into home. The law was changed on that situation a few years back. I don't know what you talking about. What you talking about? No work, Mark. He said totally agree. You must have paper before going into that situation. Ms. Tia has LPZ. What do you have to have in order to play the B card? Ms. Tia
A
has want
US,
to know what do you need to
a US, a
that.
USB. Your TV has one. Your computer has one. Your cars come with one. You know, the USB is the most uh, readily available technology that we have right now. And then as far as like Cadillac F1 is one of the sponsors that sponsors our movement. And so we're gonna go through them to continue to make it a standard in the cars. Cause right now, you know, I'm looking at like Hyundai has started putting in the C chargers, the fast chargers. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, um, we're looking to make it a standard in all vehicles for entertainment. You see what I'm saying? Because now we don't have radios anymore, but we have infotainment systems. You see what I'm saying? So
You
because
said
we
cars
switched,
don't have what? They don't have radios no more.
no, they don't. They call infotainment systems. If you remember back in our day, we used to have Kenwood, Pull Out, JVC. You know what I'm saying? We had head units. Now we don't have that anymore. Now we have an infotainment system. It's already built into the car. It's already integrated into the machinery. It does our GPS for us. It could damn near order food for you.
Okay, and it play the videos and all that, right?
Yes, it pulls up everything. So you know how you go to the club and you're listening to the music and then you look up on the screen and then it got the video playing while you're hearing the music?
Right.
Yes, you can do that.
Oh, but you didn't tell them that he got the built-in EQ system to get the sound. Remember that?
Yeah, well, I had to go in there and Dr. Dre some shit, you know what I'm saying, and kind of build, you know, a process in it to where when you load these songs in it, because it goes through a manufacturing process, which I'm not a part of, you know what I'm saying? So I had to create some type of compression in order to get not only the music quality to be 3D. You know, I started with like 3D, then we went to like 5D, then we went to like 8D, and 8D was like just it was swimming everywhere, you know, bouncing off all the speakers. And the way that the 3D technology works is that best example, listening to an orchestra from across the street versus being in the orchestra. So that would be the difference. The difference is what you're listening to now is you're listening to sounds from across the street, meaning it's all in one file, it's all in one wave. They're getting better with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the equivalent of listening to the record from across the street. But then, you know, you have the immersive sound, you know, of the EPK to where now you're listening to the music from within. So now you're getting the richness of all the different sounds. You remember back in the day on the record player, it used to have stereo and mono. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Hey, little mama say they got Apple CarPlay and Google CarPlay now.
What's her point?
No, she was just elaborating off one of when you was talking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But those are streaming service though.
Oh, I don't know nothing about it. I'm just reading the comments.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Apple Play and Google and all that, those are streaming services. So it's not necessarily what we're against. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just doesn't make us no money. And we're trying to save an industry that is falling and falling quick. because they don't have any, they don't have the next step of physical copy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of like selling slinging records or CDs, right? Because you're getting
It's
dollar for
exactly
dollar.
it's exactly like selling your CDs and tapes and everything else. I mean, it's the next form of physical copy. You see what I'm saying? Because we've already
Next,
spent most of the show
next,
talking about how you're not making any money off of
next level shit.
stream. And then in order to make 600,000, 600,000, off of streams, you need half a billion, you need 1.5 billion streams. But with the EPK, you only need 15,000 EPKs. And 1,000 of those can fit into the shoebox. So how many would be 15,000? It'd be what, 15 shoeboxes?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? How you feel about 15 shoeboxes in your trunk versus a trunk full of CDs? You know,
Be a lot of room in there.
we could we were like 15,000 CDs out of your trunk, like that was 1.5 million. That's how Master P and all them got on.
Bulk was some bulky CDs.
Yeah, but that's how they got on though. They was out the trunk with it. And so whenever they would sell 15,000 copies, then they put $500,000 in their pocket. So that's why dudes started getting distribution deals. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't need their CDs to be pressed up anymore. And then as that progressed, then we started seeing less and less in the quality of, the packaging, because then you're just getting the insert. You're not getting, the track for track playlist. You're not getting who all was a part of the project or any of that.
Hey, Miss T. Harris say, does he have equipment necessary and to Clement? To demonstrate how to use the card? She want to know, do you have the equipment necessary to show how to use the card?
What, right now? I mean, it's easy. It's you just pop it
Explain
open.
it to her. She asking, explain it.
I'm explaining it to her. It's easy. You just pop it open, just like that. You see that?
Show them how I
Boom,
go in and out, LP. Show them how the chip go in and out.
bam. You see what I'm saying? And now you take this and you plug it into your USB. You see what I'm saying? And your TV, your laptops, everything that has a USB, it'll play. So you can put it in your TV. You know what I'm saying? And watch the videos. You can put it in your TV and just play the records. You can put it in your TV and then surf through pictures and videos and everything else. You get a whole EPK. You know what I'm saying? So the whole electronic press kit, you know what I'm saying? It's a press kit. So it has all of your press items and stuff in. You know what I'm saying? And press is like the news, your press releases, your editorials, what magazines you've been in, magazine covers, all of that stuff. So when your
And
fan buys,
that comes with artwork too, right?
yes, all of that's included. Yes. So
Genius.
not only do you get the music and the visuals, but you get the backdrop, and then you get to go to your online website. You know what I'm saying? Register your EPK. You know what I'm saying? Show something happened to it, but then as you register it, you know what I'm saying? You just giving me your data. You know what I'm saying? So I can market to you. You know what I'm saying? And thus, for every artist that we sign, they have a web page. So you can go to their web page and then you can buy their merch from their store. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the best part of it all, once it's put on there, it can't be removed, right?
No, I mean, and then the best part about it is that it's not disposable. You can put your information and stuff on it. So, you know, if you're like a college kid and you got an exam you're studying for, you got homework, you know what I'm saying? Then you can still use the album for all of that. Let's say you're a content creator yourself, you can still use the album to harness that information. Then you rapper dudes that show up to do these shows, you don't got to plug your phone up no more. You can use this. You just give this to the DJ, right? And then the DJ puts this into their equipment. Boom. Now you have an uninterrupted musical experience because you don't get the feedback from the mic. You don't get the feedback from the cord. Nobody's calling your phone. You plug your phone up, somebody start calling your phone, and then boom, that throws your whole show off. So now you get an uninterrupted experience, you know, ad free. We're not including any ads in it. So you will get uninterrupted listening experience with no ads. You get all of the music, all of the bio, all of the information that is going to take you to become a fan of an artist. You know what I'm saying? And then the artist has completed a sale for $25 to $40. You know what I'm saying? Versus 0.00004% of a penny.
So what does it like? What is the quality? What's your price list? What does it come in? What's the minimum you can buy and the maximum you can buy? And what kind of deals do you have?
Well, the EPK itself, we're going to charge you $5 to manufacture. Okay. And so, however many you decide to order, I would say the minimum number would be like 300. And then the maximum number would be somewhere around 1 million copies. And it wouldn't be the maximum number. It just would be the manufacturing. I have a manufacturer that manufactures the music and the innovation. You know what I'm saying? So it would be it wouldn't be something I would take on personally because of the scale in which I plan to do this on, because we're talking about all of the music that you listen to in the world, you know what I'm saying, being converted into this technology. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about bringing back physical copies of things because we're losing so much in the streaming system, you know, off the streaming platform. You're getting bare minimum. Like, I'm a movie buff, so I like to watch movies in their entirety. Have you ever been to a movie theater and then when the movie was over, it was still people sitting there?
Yes, watching the credit.
Right, right. Those are movie buffs. There's movie goers, there's movie buffs. You see what I'm saying? And movie buffs may be like a niche, you know what I'm saying? But they are what make the industry what it is. It can't exist without them. You see what I'm saying? And so we already know what the industry is like without physical copies. It's desolate, it's broke. We went from having over 50 independent record labels, you know what I'm saying, to absolutely none. Now we got 3 major distributors, you know what I'm saying, distributors, Universal Films, Warner Brothers, all these big companies that don't give a fuck about the music or the product as long as the bottom line makes sense. So, like I said, um, my whole mission with this is to get my people paid. And my people are the content creators, the artists, the writers, the producers, the little guys that make everything happen. And then when you go to a studio here, like here in Dallas, and you record a song, you know what I'm saying? Now you can leave with your product. Now you can leave with your with we call them like demo versions or forgot the word. I just lost it. But it's the version of the song that you create. Like, so it is a demo version, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't the reference track. So you're able to create your reference tracks, right? So you go to the studio, you done laid your song, you know what I'm saying? Now you're gonna leave with your record. Now the producer is gonna give you one of these EPK cards, you know what I'm saying? And they will be blank. You know what I'm saying? Then you put the music on the card for the artist, same as you would do with a CD. You give it to the artist. The artist goes and lives with it, then comes back. You know what I'm saying? And this becomes his hard drive. Like back in the day, I had to go buy an external hard drive. And so with me having an external hard drive, and then the hard drive situation all of a sudden went away because now we have the cloud service. And so everybody was like, oh, well, this cloud service, like, is big enough to hold everybody's information, which we know is not true. So I'm not going to count on another man's computer to hold on to my craft, hold on to my music. And ultimately, who got the ultimate control over everything that's in the cloud? They know what's in the cloud.
That's dope.
You don't even know what's in the cloud.
Miss Tia Harris said that's dope for real.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's the new movement. That's what I'm here for initially. You know, I'm like, I thought I missed my time. I'm like, God, what's going on? Like, all these other people is getting on and this, that, and the third is happening. And he saved me for this right here. This was the moment that he saved me for. And I go back and I listen to my records and I'm like, you know, why didn't they hit or why wasn't it a hit? And it wasn't my time. But he had to OG me, you know what I'm saying? Because he could have delivered me a long time ago, you know what I'm saying? And then I would have been multi-billion dollar, billionaire Bruce Wayne. But then I wouldn't have been mature enough to hold on to the money or do what it is that God wanted me to do with the money or for his children. You know what I'm saying? And so, unfortunately, I was shot in the head and it put me in a coma. You know what I'm saying? But that time that I was in a coma and I got to talk to my God and my angels, and he gave me this game plan. I mean, he gave it to me in like 2013. I wrote it down. I created, Ivan, the little smart card and stuff like that. Didn't know what I was going to call it. But then life kept lifing and it just kept putting me off and things, got delayed to the point to where, bam, now it's my time.
Yeah, it's your time. It's definitely your time. Give the people a quick recap of the things we talked about tonight and let's get out of here.
Yeah, so we talked about the gift and the curse of AI. You know what I'm saying? Know that you can use it in all aspects. You know what I mean? I plan on doing something very innovative with AI myself, which we talked about in the beginning of the show. Then there's the EPK. Uh, the, so that's another one of my innovations. And without God, could none of this be possible? I just have to, put him in there, give him the glory, because this is God's plan. This ain't mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm a highly intelligent man, but without his divine enlightenment leading me to these different places and taking advantage of these different opportunities. And now look at me. I'm on everybody's television show, and I'm doing podcasts and stuff like that, and I'm sharing my message with the world. And the one thing that I want the world to know about me is that God created this, like from head to toe, and gave me the plan. This is not my plan. You know what I'm saying? This is me moving without my ego, and I can go further off into that at a later date. But today, you know what I'm saying? We had a great show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope you got your jewels and your gifts. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm here. I'm here to drop jewels, give you gifts, and help you cross the street. It's your boy, L Pezy.
This concludes the L Pezy show. Where we be bringing technology to you. We doing no politics, something different. I do politics all week. We come back every Sunday with the LPZ show, episode 2. I don't know what the topic gonna be, but I'll update you guys. I hope y'all continue to support, man. And Miss T Harris say this is so genius, and I wish you all the success in your adventures, LPZ.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea how much that means to me, because this has been an uphill battle for me. I done went through so much to get here, and the fact that someone is appreciating what God has done for us, then I feel like my job is done. And I thank you so much, and I'm so grateful for all of you that tuned in today.
All right, we out of here, y'all. See y'all
Big.
next week. Next Sunday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. Y'all support the platform. $ split after dark 810. Send me a super chat or something. I'm out of here. Peace.